Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good Monday night. It is October 26th, and yeah, so today I'm back with a tropical weather update. We have some big news in the tropics, so yeah, we're going to be talking about that. This is Hurricane Zeta, so yeah, it's going to be the main focus in today's video. So yeah, please consider subscribing. We were at 224 now, so we did gain one, so thank you guys for that. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you would leave a like too. But let's get started with the video. So this is Hurricane Zeta. As I said, it is now a Category 1 with 80-mile-per-hour winds. It does not have an eye or anything, but it does have a lot of deep convection. So a lot of very strong thunderstorms like this, and they're coming into Cancun and the peninsula right now. So yeah, this is looking like a very good tropical system. It doesn't have an eye though, but it does have a lot of convection. This is Zeta right here. It is located almost, it's going to go over to like the northern part of the peninsula by Cancun. And yeah, 80-mile-per-hour winds, minimum central pressure 981 millibars. The cone right now is going to be a hurricane, and then it's going to make landfall maybe as a strong tropical storm or a weak Category 1 hurricane is what it's predicted to do right now. But that could change. And then it's forecasted to go into Alabama or Mississippi for a little bit, southern Mississippi, go through central Alabama, and then through North Georgia, and then go out into the mid-Atlantic. So yes, and it could re-strengthen as a tropical storm. There's actually as a post-tropical storm up there and kind of by Massachusetts, according to the National Hurricane Center. Wind speed probabilities, areas like New Orleans right now, you have about a 50 to 60% chance of tropical storm force winds. Montgomery, Alabama, you have a 30 to 40% chance. Birmingham, you have around a 20 to 30% chance. In Atlanta, you have around a 10 to 20% chance. But some areas, these numbers are likely to go up. It's just confidence right now. But these are going to go up, especially for areas like New Orleans and Birmingham. So yeah, that's the wind speed probabilities. Rainfall potential. We're going to be seeing a lot of not a whole lot of rainfall compared to previous tropical systems we've had, but a lot. And so yeah, now let's go to, these are our latest tracks here from hurricane models and GFS and some GFS ensembles. So right now, it's forecasted to go, most of the models are clumped together as it going over part of the peninsula, and then going into the Gulf, re-strengthening, and then making landfall in Louisiana, and then going to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Kind of taking a track similar to that is what these models are thinking. So yeah, and then have them going back up into the Mid-Atlantic. So yeah, this is Zeta. This is our 27th tropical system in the season, so we've had a lot of them. So yeah, as we can see, this is the GFS here. This is just one model though, so keep that in mind, because we're going to be looking at a few of them today. Has it weakening, actually barely even weakening, just weakening a little bit as it goes over the peninsula, and then going into the Gulf and strengthening, and then hitting Louisiana as a 982 millibar storm, which is pretty strong, going into Alabama, affecting Birmingham in the morning, bringing some pretty strong gusty winds to areas like Atlanta Thursday, and then bringing gusty winds to areas like Raleigh, and then it moves into moves off back into the Atlantic. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty quick moving storm once it gets into the southeast, which is good for flooding. We're not going to have a whole lot of serious flooding with this system as of right now. And hopefully the models won't slow down on this system at all. So that is good. But we're probably still going to have a lot of storm surge with this. So yeah, let's look at a few other models here. Let's look at the Canadian. I'm interested in GFS more than the Canadian, but we're going to look at it anyway. So yeah, the Canadian has this thing making landfall is only 1,000 millibar. And then kind of colliding with this second low pressure system from our winter storm that finally starts to move, and it's going to bring a lot of ice and snow to this, or a lot of ice. There's ice storm warnings in Oklahoma, by the way, and Texas. It's going to kind of collide with that and just bring gusty winds for literally the whole South. and Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So yeah, that's what the Canadian has. The Canadian's kind of unreliable though, tropical systems. So yeah, we're gonna look at the icon. Now the icon has us having a little bit more of a northern, going a little bit further to the north than the GFS. As you guys can see here, has it making landfall as a 980 millibar storm, and then kind of colliding with this second low pressure system also. So yeah, that's the icon. Now let's move over here. This is just some interesting stuff. Let's look at potential wind gusts for the southeast on windy.com. I kind of like this because it's an interactive map, so you can zoom in and move around it and stuff. So this is the European here. The European has wind gusts of 113 moving into Louisiana. New Orleans, ignore these numbers here, by the way. So like 77 in New Orleans, that's not the gust, that's the temperature. So just ignore that. 108 in New Orleans. Actually, we're gonna switch models. We're gonna use the GFS because the GFS is newer. Yeah, so the GFS has New Orleans not getting killed. 58 mile per hour gust around New Orleans. Biloxi, Mississippi, you'll get some wind gusts probably up around 70. And then these strong winds will mainly be on the more southern side of this. Actually, as you guys see here, the low pressure at this time, this is Thursday at 3 a.m. The low pressure is actually right there. So the strongest winds are on the east and south side of the system, according to the GFS. It brings wind gusts of around 60 to Montgomery, 50s to Birmingham, 60s for a lot of North Georgia here. Crap, I clicked on Atlanta. I keep clicking on Atlanta. So yeah, click here. This is Thursday at 8 a.m. 62 in Atlanta. And then we go here. It actually looks like it just strengthened a little bit. We now have 62 again, right around North Georgia into northwestern South Carolina here. Greenville, you're probably going to get some 60s. And areas like Dahlonega and Rome, 60s. Rome, probably just 50s. And Dahlonega, probably just 50s also. But yeah, but areas like Athens, you guys could get 60s too. 60 wind gusts probably for this whole area, from Charlotte up to Raleigh, up to Virginia Beach. And so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of 60s with this. This is not gonna weaken really quickly. It's gonna kind of stay the same strength once it gets into Alabama, like eastern Alabama. It's gonna stay the same strength. You can see we still have 63 mile per hour wind gusts all the way up to Raleigh in that area. This is just one model run though, so some of these numbers could change a little bit, but this kind of gives you a little bit of what could happen. So yeah, some pretty strong wind gusts moving pretty far inland with this. Yeah, now let's talk about the other side of things. We have another winter storm coming probably. Actually, it's going to be coming. So as these two systems move north into the northeast, this is going to start kind of Friday, kind of late Thursday night into Friday morning. We're going to see some snow for areas like central New York, central and southern Vermont, central and southern New Hampshire, and southern and central Maine. Then as we go closer to Friday morning, temperatures cool down a little bit, and we have snow making it a little bit further down to the south for areas like Connecticut, western and central Massachusetts, and southern New Hampshire now, all snow. Then that moves out, brings some snow showers in the backside areas like southern New York, not New York City. And so yeah, so that could be that's likely going to be our next snowstorm, or winter storm. Let's take a look at snowfall accumulations with this. So let's use the Katrina ratio because that's better. So we have some snowfall accumulations, for example, Providence, Rhode Island, about an inch. Burlington, maybe a trace. And a lot of widespread areas of 1 to 3 inches, and some localized amounts of 3+, like 5 inches here in New York. And the peak is 9 inches in central New York. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting little winter storm for the Northeast. It's going to be the first one of the season. We did have some snow there for kind of this area earlier in the season, but wasn't really a big deal. So yeah, now let's take a look at a few other models for this. Let's look at the European now. Not snow depth. Let's just take a look at the winter, or how much snow could accumulate from this. Alright, so the European is going a lot more heavy with the snowfall totals here, the Northeast. Actually, we have 0.4 in southeastern New York. New York City, the European has you actually getting snow somehow. 16 inches in eastern New Hampshire. That's a lot for this time of year. So yeah, I think the European has a lot more high snowfall totals than the GFS. Has snow literally for the whole Northeast, to the from northern PA up to northern Maine. So it has a lot of snow. It even has Long Island getting snow, which is pretty good. Let's actually see what it has happening precipitation type here and see how heavy it has been. Oh yeah, okay, so the European has a really bad snowstorm for the Northeast. Really heavy snow setting in for southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire. So yeah, that could be pretty significant. But yeah, we'll have another update on this tomorrow. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.